So let's get started back up today. So with a lot of support components. Let's do Edelgard and Ferdinand.
Standing tall, I see.
Edelgard, hello. What do you think of this horse? An equine marvel, no? Look how intelligent he is. You can see it in his face. Certainly much smarter than your horse.
Always with the dick measuring contests.
Lovely bloom.
Behold, Edelgard. Do you see this blood-red bloom? This is much more impressive than the pale little sprigs you have there. And as I'm sure you know, redness symbolizes courage and strength.
You're talking about a corpse flower.
Stop. I can't believe you're wasting my time with a petty one-sided rivalry.
What are you complaining about? You told me not to publish my pamphlet, and I complied.
I've had enough of your foolish antics. Very well. I will grant you the duel you so desperately desire. But when I win, you must forfeit the right to bother me with your ridiculousness. Forever. Do we have a deal?
So you'll fight me after all? Wonderful. To battle, then!
And
All
cheap
right,
shotty.
Edelgard.
Okay.
Have at me.
As you wish. Ha!
It only took you one blow? How?
I can't afford to hold back against an opponent like you. I led with my fastest, strongest strike.
And she
Fastest and
critted.
Strongest? You're just flattering me. I have been defeated. Utterly. I cannot believe I was foolish enough to challenge such a plainly superior opponent.
The difference in our skill level is not so great as all that. If you had taken the first strike, you might have won. That's why I didn't give you the chance.
I do not think talent is what separates us so much as readiness. I had not the faintest idea of what to expect from a real duel. I was playing, but you were not. That such an ill-prepared noble would think to challenge you? It is laughable.
Is indeed laughable.
Ferdinand.
Ha ha ha. B. Another B.
I have
The
been
last
watching
conversation
you
they
in
will have.
Guard. But you and Hubert were noticing me, correct?
Well, if you intend to shadow us like that, you can be sure it won't escape our notice. Hubert was primed and ready to remove you. I ordered him to stand down.
Typical
You have
Hubert.
my thanks. I have been making a decision that I am wanting to learn from you. I was thinking it was enough to be shooting one bird with one arrow. But after speaking with you, I trained with hardness. Now I can be shooting two birds with one arrow.
2 pheasants? Are you implying that...
Yes, a single arrow.
That's astounding, Petra. It's perhaps a bit late to explain now, but what I was getting at earlier was actually...
Not that far-fetched, you just have
I'm
to
having a joke.
You...
line them up right.
Come again?
I really was shooting these birds with one arrow, but my joke is that I did have understanding about what you told me. I took it to my heart.
Did you know?
You are a person with great bluntness. I am admiring of you. As an emperor, a commander, a warrior, and a friend, you are excelling at all that you do. All of the Empire is resting on your shoulders, and that is including Brigid, too. I will not be falling behind you.
Hey Harlan, how's
I
it
will be
going?
carrying Brigid on my shoulders, too. And one day, you and I will be facing each other, and we will be shaking hands.
You quit streaming or are you just lurking in the background?
Yes, that much is certain. I can see that you no longer need me to look out for you. You and I are much the
I
same.
see, you're lurking while
We
you're
dutifully
streaming too.
shoulder our burdens and stand tall no matter what. It would be foolish of me to deny it.
Your words give me great joy. And it also gave me joy.
Always
to see you
appreciate the
flustered
lurking.
When I was showing you the birds.
A cheap trick to be sure, but inarguably funny. To think that you went to all the trouble of shooting 2 pheasants at once for the sake of a joke. Well played, Petra.
We both are growing every day. I hope we will keep doing so.
And I have not heard this conversation before, so I have no idea what to expect from it.
Your Majesty, might I have a moment of your time?
Yes, of course. Unless you're not planning yet another magical exhibition, are you? Knowing you, it seems a safe bet. I can't imagine what else it could be. I already promised to help you revive House Nouvelle. If our campaign continues as it has, we'll soon prevail. There's no need to keep inventing spells.
I don't doubt that your Majesty has things well in hand when it comes to the war.
There's no music
Yet
here.
why should I allow that to deter me from achieving my ultimate satisfaction? As the scion of proud House
there it is.
Nouvelle, I shall bring about my grand achievement before my house is restored. On that, you may rely.
You have a strong will and a strong mind. You do not consider yourself above concerted effort either. Even during wartime, you trust your own ability to fight and survive. You're ever focused on the future and on the actions necessary to realize it.
Where is this coming from? If there's an angle to be played with this praise, it eludes me.
I was only speaking the truth. I find your efforts to be admirable.
Your words are sweet. And yet...
Yes? Please, go on.
Forgive me, Your Majesty, but you promised that House Nouvelle would be restored. Yet you work toward a future with no place for the noble houses of old. Granted, in your unified Fodlan, the acting lord for each territory will come from noble stock. But in the long term, your system will replace the nobility. Our role will change significantly.
That's exactly right. There will no longer be lords who inherently rule over a particular territory. Instead, nobles will act as government officials, working for the people in exchange for a salary. Officials will be selected from the general populace as well, bringing an end to the very concept of social standing. All will rise and fall by their own merits.
And it is for those reasons that I continue my magical research. Even if nobility ceases to exist as a concept, the meritorious spellcraft displayed by House Nouvelle shall make us a household name.
I must admit, your words strike a chord. I find myself oddly moved by your proclamation.
So you see, Your Majesty, the fortunes of my house dovetail nicely with your plans. The road on which you stride courageously forward leads to my
Dovetailing, eh?
future.
I too believe that the future you wish for can be found at the end of this path we're cutting.
Splendid! Oh, amid all this talk, I neglected to present my demonstration. Sit back as I, Constance von Nouvelle, display the never-duplicated Nouvelle style of spellcraft.
This probably won't end well.
About that. Another time, yes? I have much to do elsewhere.
No, wait! There's no time like the present! Why, it shan't take more than an hour or two.
Hour or two. But he'll be nice and easy, just one with Hubert
Show
and
them this letter. Threaten
Ferdinand, yeah.
do what you must. Now go. Yes, sir.
Yes, threaten them. That sounds like Hubert.
Hubert, that letter. Is that what I think it was? I suppose there's no denying it. But Edelgard explicitly forbade me to send it. Yes, I know. I cannot believe it! You disobeyed a direct order? I thought you were her loyal aide. Unwaveringly. All that I do for her. I seem to recall you expressing a similar sentiment. It is our role to guide her when she is on the wrong course of action. Is that not what you said? You are not supposed to do it in secret. When you disagree with your leader, you must voice your concerns directly. Otherwise, what is the point? The point is the same. Lady Edelgard's best interests are served whether she knows it or not.
Does she?
She needs not trouble herself with the mundane details of my actions. Only results matter. You are sorely misguided. When I believe that Edelgard is making a mistake, I tell her as much. Through discussing the matter, I sometimes find that I was mistaken. To skip that process, to make a decision that is not yours to make.
Perhaps your advice is simply useless then.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Excuse me?
Listen to yourself. If I do as Lady Edelgard requires, then you tell me to be more independent. But if I tread my own path, I am misguided. I suppose the fault is mine for expecting an
Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. I always appreciate it if you're just gonna lurk.
Ugh, I have had enough of your grousing. To think, I started to believe you were a useful aid.
Ooh, he's mad too. Bernadetta, this is an A rank. E.
Even with the fires of war raging all around us, tea never fails to soothe the soul. Do you not agree, Bernadetta?
I hadn't actually thought about it, but yes.
Excellent. Oh, that reminds me.
What's that?
A long time ago, my parents were in talks to arrange my marriage with a certain young lady. She never set foot outside of her room, and she made little dolls to curse her perceived enemies. Such were the rumors. Frightened, I dissuaded my parents from going through with their plans.
I can see that. She does sound pretty frightening. I relate to the staying in the room part, though.
Yeah, I wonder who
Girl
that
was
is.
you, Bernadetta.
Yep.
A daughter of House Varley.
What? I don't make dolls to curse people.
You are a skilled embroiderer, no? I guess I was wrong. You were not making dolls.
I did make dolls, but cute ones. Nice little carnivorous plants and things.
Maybe I should not have brought this up.
Why not? Carnivorous plants are adorable.
Yeah, they kill flies.
Yes, adorable. Anyway,
Flies are annoying.
If I had actually known you, I would have accepted the proposal.
Why? Did you have some scheme in mind?
No, I just mean, now that I have gotten to know you, I would have been happy to...
So, you're saying you'd... with me? It's getting kinda hot in here, isn't it? Maybe it's the tea.
Why are you getting so worked up? That was all a long time ago now.
A long time ago?
Yes. Now we are soldiers fighting together in the same great conflict, right? And my parents are gone.
Aye.
So any agreements they might have cooked up would be completely invalid.
I guess so.
Just think, if we had been married, we would not have been able to build such a deep friendship.
I know his dad
That's
dies
true.
in other routes. I
Yeah,
don't if you
we never would've
recruit him,
gotten this
but
close. I would have given up on
How
the
about his
relationship
mother?
my parents chose for me and shut myself away even more.
So all in all, I am glad I refused to marry that doll-cursing princess.
Hey! I said I never made cursed dolls.
Sorry. I am just glad to have met you at the monastery. I had better take my leave. We should have tea together again sometime soon.
Yeah, see you. I'm glad we met here too.
yeah, she really broke out of her shell. Mercedes. Now and also vaguely we can get together kind of one.
Mercedes, finally, there you are.
Ah, Ferdinand. Why are you so short of breath?
I just wanted to show you something.
What's this? Oh.
The
Yes.
same letter everyone
These
ever
are
gets.
financial records that I recovered from your adoptive father. They prove that when he adopted you, large sums of money changed hands.
Where did you come across these?
I stealthily made my way into Ferdiad and looked around his estate. It was easy. That
During
kind
a
of thing
war,
is no trouble for an
where you are in war with that
rogue
place.
such as myself.
That's amazing. I mean, amazingly irresponsible. I can't believe you put yourself at risk for my benefit. I really wish you wouldn't do such things.
No, I did it for my benefit. I could not help myself. With these documents, we can show everyone what a scoundrel your adoptive father really is. His noble aspirations will be
brooch
crushed.
thing really
The
need
Lord
that
of the Region
different
will
reflective
probably
surface
rescind his
on it.
adoption contract. In other words, you will be free. Here, take them. Do with them what you will.
Do you really believe these will set me free?
Yes, of course. You will be free to decide your own path in life, and go wherever your heart leads you.
That does sound nice, but... I'm sorry, Ferdinand, but I think you should hold on to the documents.
Why? Is this not what you want?
I've lived so much of my life following everyone else's lead, so much so that I've come to terms with it. It's almost unavoidable at this point. But with these, I could regain my freedom and change all that.
You baffle me. Do you not wish to be free?
Of course I do. Let me try that again in a way you might understand. Ahem. A true noble cuts their own path, seizing freedom from the clutches of tyranny.
I cannot argue with that.
I think that's something he said, if I remember right.
The documents.
But I'm really very happy that you're so concerned with my well-being, Ferdinand. It means so much to me that you went through all that trouble on my behalf.
Of course, Mercedes. The smile on your face is well worth the effort.
Every A I get, that's one less more I have to do in the future.
I learned. I still don't understand. Hello, Constance. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just in need of a sympathetic ear. I found a magical scroll, which, unless I am mistaken, should relieve me of my woes.
Oh, wonderful!
And the catch?
Not so fast. The magic within this scroll is a type I have neglected to study. It pains me to admit this, but it may take decades of going back to the basics to grasp it.
Decades? That's a long time to spend with your nose buried in an old piece of parchment.
Why must the goddess dangle a solution before me, only to cruelly pull it away?
Because it's
There's no
funny.
need to despair. To tell the truth, I like you just as you are.
You do? Why? Those low moods of mine have never done anyone the least bit of good.
You're like a little sister to me. Nothing you do will change that. Not even a little bit.
Really?
Of course.
There's a
you're
type
my
of magic
sweet
she can do?
Constance, and I like you just as you are.
I see. Perhaps my moods are not the great burden I thought they were.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pressure you. No matter what decision you make, I support you.
I felt no pressure, I assure you. It's more that I feel embarrassed to have been embarrassed. I'd put so much effort into finding a magical means to alleviate myself that it never occurred to me that maybe all I needed was to accept myself.
What will you do with the scroll you found?
Oh, I'll continue to research it, for research's sake if nothing else, but I may have no need of it. It's not as if these moods of mine have ever hampered my efforts to restore my house. And I am as a sister to you, no matter which face I present.
Everyone has
Yes?
some
Nothing. No mood, no
deep-seated
foe, no
mental issues in
obligation
this
will keep
game,
me
but a
from
few
honoring
people.
my sisterly duty to protect you.
We can protect each other.
Good. It is settled. Now we can begin the hard work of reclaiming our titles.
Absolutely. We'll become sister sages and restore our houses to their former glory.
You understand the plan perfectly. If we walk this path together, it can only end in triumph.
Another
Ugh,
A.
This path isn't the right way either. Why do epic quests always involve a lot of legwork?
Well,
It's not the journey.
here's a
It's
big
not the
place.
destination. It's the
Maybe
journey.
it's time to start on your next epic quest. Giving up and going home. People are dying up there after all. We don't have time for this sort of thing.
What sort of thing? You? I'd say you're way more important than the pursuit of war. More interesting, too.
Yeah, and the next big thing in Christology. How flattering. You gotta stop saying things like that or someone might get the wrong idea. Lucky for you, I'm used to your weirdness by now.
I'm sorry my sincerity rubbed you the wrong way. I meant what I said, but that's fine. Now, back to your ability. I've discovered that this power can be attributed to your blood. The magic originates from your crest. There have been leaps and bounds in research on summoning magic focused on an arbitrary target. The only remaining problems are perception and distance, though it could be argued that
Blah, blah, big words, blah. I don't even get what you're saying.
you don't have to understand it to appreciate its implications. Here's the connection. Once we understand your power, it's essential that we have a theoretical grasp on how to control it.
So it stops. You can
Right,
stop
right,
doing
I'll
it.
do my best.
That isn't as scientific as what I had in mind.
I'll probably need your help wrapping my head around the theoretical stuff. You up for that? No pressure. Well, people might die if you say no, so some pressure, I guess.
Huh? Why me? I guess it can't be helped. I suppose foisting this task on Professor Hanneman would be a waste of my precious efforts. This isn't what I had in mind, but I guess I'm the only man for the job, come to think of it.
Sounds great. Hey, if you're tired, there's no shame in calling it a day and heading back to the surface.
It's Lindard.
more
He's
awkward than
tired.
I expected. I've lost sleep over this. But you're way more important than a... Oh, right. You don't like me when I'm sincere. Well, let's get on with the adventure then. We'll check out that hidden passage next. We've got to find that book that Timotheus is said to have left behind. Come along.
Fine.
Oh, he's tired
But
and
what if we
working
don't
through
find
it.
the book, and you can't figure out a way to solve
Damn.
this?
I've come this far. Now I've got to see it through to the end. How will I ever nap in peace otherwise?
Sounds like we might be stuck together for a while.
3 years later. And another A. Oh, and the sappy music.
These ears miss nothing, you know.
What are you on about this time?
Is it true that Count Ordelia plans to relinquish his title eventually?
Yes, but why are you asking?
I approve, that's all. Throwing off the shackles of nobility to live freely, it's a beautiful thing.
I would ask that you refrain from painting them with the same brushstrokes that you so liberally paint yourself with. My mother and father will carry on with all the associated duties befitting of nobles. Only after that will they retire.
Got it. And that's completely different from someone like me who tapped out of the nobility game, right? Your parents are exemplary nobles, that's for sure. I respect that you support them as much as you do.
Would you just stop? You're embarrassing me.
Can't be helped. Meant every word. If anyone should have red cheeks, it's me, given the choices I've made.
I'm sure you have
Choices,
your reasons.
yes.
Of course. Still, it is a bit cowardly of me not to stand up to my family a bit more. Honestly, it's since getting to know you that I've started thinking along those lines. One day soon I'll return to that house. My reception will be chilly at best. Still, it must be done. My house is full of lowlifes. But it also has my little bro, who took over when I left. He's good people. Even with the difficulties in Leicester, our house is still going strong. That's his doing. That's why I've decided that it's time to talk to him about what can be done to help Count Ordelia.
Repaying your perceived debt would be nice, sure. But it sounds like you intend to foist your responsibility onto your little brother.
Ah, but the two aren't related. This is just the right thing to do. I'm still pondering how best to fulfill my vow.
Uh-huh.
Well, you don't believe me, do you, little lady?
Yeah, because you're actually paying off a debt.
What exactly are you planning on in terms of this repayment?
After your family relinquishes their noble titles, I'll support them so that you can all live in peace.
Even though you're a lowlife?
That may be true, and it is, but consider this. I've seen life from both sides, as a noble and a vagabond. When their situation changes, they'll face new challenges. I'm the perfect guy to help them through.
You're irresponsible and unreliable. But clearly, you're not a bad person.
Sounds about right.
And your support would be most appreciated. Just so you're aware, however, we have no means with which to pay you. So, are you sure you're still willing to follow through with this?
I wasn't planning on doing this for a payout, but if you really insisted on a thank you gift, well, you could always accept me into your family. Then paying me wouldn't be a consideration.
Excuse me? Just what are you insinuating?
Don't think too hard about it just yet. I still have lots of debts to pay and affairs to settle. In the meantime, let's just stick close together. Yeah?
You know exactly what he meant. Still so many more.
Frigid ocean waters. I can feel them already.
Calm, calm. Just listen to me for a moment. There's something I need to tell you. The reason I worked for House Varley, Bernadetta, was to kill you.
Ha! I always knew you were out to kill me. Sink me into the deep, dark, freezing depths.
Hold on. House Varley? But why?
As you well know, theirs is one of the 6 great noble houses, the true rulers of the Empire. And you're the heir, with a crest. There were tons of people who wanted you wiped out. Like people who want to eradicate House Varley. Or a relative who wants the glory for themselves. That particular breed of treacherous nobility is the kind that'd hire a kid to do their dirty work. The first thing that kid would
What
do,
bastards.
get close to the target by befriending her. Find an in through, say, an assistant gig.
This kid you're mentioning sounds real. That was you, wasn't it?
Yours truly. My biggest mistake? Getting to know you. I crept into your room one night and readied my blade. The whole thing had been a breeze, up until that moment. I couldn't bring myself to do it. While I hovered there, hesitating, your father came in. You know the rest.
Why are you telling me all this? I'm so confused.
Because I want you to look at it objectively. I was hired to kill you. Your father protected you from me. A filthy assassin. He was looking out for you. You're lucky to have a father who cares for you enough to do that.
Father protected me? He protected me.
Yeah, why would I lie?
Yeah, why would you lie about that
I
scumbag?
figure it's you who hates me, and not the other way around.
I don't hate you, Yuri. But I mean, I do feel weird. But I don't know how to feel. Can't we just be friends? Like back then?
You want to be friends with me?
The reason you couldn't kill me was because we were friends, right?
Oh, sweet.
Well,
You were my first friend. My very first friend. The first person who played with me. The first person who went on adventures with me. The first...
and you were the first friend I had to baby that much.
What do you mean? Well, even so, you were the first friend who cared for me.
The whole thing was probably a sham anyway. Though, you know, even if it was, I did have a lot of fun with you.
I knew it!
Another conversation done. Let's see. Getting close to being done here. Another A1.
You seem to have lined up your desserts very meticulously.
What you see before you, Lysithia, is a life choice.
Oh, really?
Take the blue
most
pill.
skilled pastry chef in the army has been
Or
asked
I
to
can't
do
remember which one's the one you go
impossible in
deeper
heart
into the
of
rabbit hole.
Source
Haven't seen the
high-quality
Mages in forever.
ingredients, employ advanced baking methods, and create these 2 pastries.
Wow. You've put a lot of thought into this. May I?
Of course. You can have but one, though. And it should be noted that they taste completely different. I thought I'd split them between us, seeing as they were made so carefully and are so very, very special.
One is laced with hot sauce.
So, what exactly
The
is
other-
the life choice you mentioned? Also, if you are
Chocolate.
not partaking, I'll just go ahead and eat them both.
Oh no. For you see, if you eat one, you simply cannot, must not, eat the other. Should you eat both, a pair of ingredients, one in each pastry, will combine to poison you.
That seems unnecessarily intense. Just one won't kill me then?
Of course not. But making this choice means you will not be able to taste the second dessert. Ever. No matter what I tell you, you'll never know which one tasted best. And if you are underwhelmed by your choice, you'll regret your decision forever.
So, I should just pick one and be done with it.
One and done.
But you've already chosen, haven't you? Not between the pastries, but your life paths. You would gamble on the chance of living a long life, even if it meant losing your 2 crests, correct? Hence my current choice.
Wait, whose choice are we talking about now?
A shortened lifespan doesn't necessarily mean a short life. Even with 2 crests, you might live a long time. And with you around, the study of crests will undoubtedly reach previously unimagined levels. On the other hand, getting rid of them could help someone that I care about. Maybe. Or maybe it won't help at all. Unfortunately, one never knows until they eat the pastry. Even then, you can never taste them both.
Good analogy.
Hang on, Linhardt. Do you mean to tell me you care about me? Since when?
When indeed. You are someone I care about, though. So much so I wish we could be family, you and I.
Family? That escalated rather quickly. Although, having more family does sound nice.
Anyway, I need to be going. Oh, and feel free to eat the pastries. I made up the poison bit because I didn't know how else to say what I wished to say. And because... well, because I believe there are choices we can make where you can have both. I'll show you somehow, before the war is over.
Are you sure these aren't poisoned? Linhardt, wait! Wait!
I'm almost done. And another A!
Why am I so unlucky with women lately?
Oh, Sylvain, what's that face for? Have you been dumped again?
Isn't there
You can
an
read 'em like a
unwritten rule
book.
You shouldn't ask someone that?
I'm sorry. I thought you didn't mind being dumped. So your love life can get you down sometimes after all. Who knew?
I'm sad every time I break up with someone. It's just... I usually try to be the one doing the breaking up. I've never had a hard time with girls. Ever. Not until recently. But
We are in a
now
war.
when I think about it, I wonder what any of them even liked about me. It's not as if any of them knew much about me. I don't get it.
Isn't that what a relationship is for? Learning about someone else? You can't know it all right at the start.
I asked you before if you would have invited me out if I was a peasant.
You did ask me that, yes.
That was wrong of me to say. I've just... It's not an excuse, but I'm always so suspicious. I'm a nobleman with a crest. The marriage proposals don't stop coming.
And they don't
Everybody wants
stop
me.
coming. And
Except, they don't actually want me at all. They want my bloodline. Within my family and without. It's always the same story. Sometimes I think that if I didn't have a crest, no one would look at me twice.
I see. And you're probably not wrong. Honestly, I've had those same sort of thoughts myself.
Oh? What sort of thoughts might those be?
I sang, people cheered and applauded, and when I walked off stage, I'd find the same thing every night. A mountain of presents and marriage proposals. But none of those people knew me. All they knew was the singer they saw on the stage. All they wanted was my looks and my voice. None of them even tried to get to know the real me.
I'm pretty sure I've heard this somewhere.
We
Yeah,
may come
from your
different
mouth.
places, but we're much the same, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I suppose we are. Look, Dorothea, I've realized something. Even if you were an old grandma, I'd still flirt with you. And I'd absolutely win you over. Though, I'd much rather win you over now, and be with you until you become an old grandma.
That might be the most legitimately romantic thing you've ever said, Sylvain. And I can't say I disagree. I'd rather you win me over now, too. So that I can stay by your side until you're an old grandpa.
Well, before any of that, will you go to dinner with me?
I'd be happy to.
Hey, one normal, one left. And I just got the ones for my character.
Mercedes, you're looking divine as always.
Good evening, Sylvain. Thank you for coming out to see me.
In
Just
the ruined
two of us
chapel.
meeting at this time of night? You moved quicker than I thought.
I don't know what speed has to do with it, but there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Ah, okay. I probably should have figured that out.
I can be so forgetful at times. I neglected to mention this the other day. I meant to say that I know you've been through a lot in this life.
Huh? Me?
Your parents have placed a great deal of pressure on you as their heir. And it's all because you were born with a crest. You've had to put up with such lofty expectations.
Yes, lofty
All
expectations.
of the kingdom's noble houses expect a lot from their heirs. I'm no different from any other noble guy or gal. We've all got responsibilities.
But didn't you mention that your brother envied you enough to wish you dead? I'm sure that wasn't easy.
Thinking about it, life was probably a lot harder for my brother than it ever has been for me.
Didn't you also mention that women were only interested in having your, as you say, crest baby? I'm not very interested in the particulars, but I get the feeling that you don't care very much for these women who throw themselves at you.
Yes, he does
I'd
not.
appreciate it if maybe you kept that observation between the two of us.
Your secret's safe with me. I understand the pain you've had to carry.
I know you've got your share of bad memories too, but
That's why you feel comfortable letting your guard down around me. Come now. That's enough with the sad smile.
Mercedes.
Honestly,
Was my
given the
sad
fact that he
smile
hates
that
his
bad?
crest and Eligard kind of wants to do with them,
Ruin my
it's kind of
dancing
reasonable he
blush?
joined their side.
Not at all. You actually look more handsome to me with honesty on your face.
Aw, here come the waterworks.
Don't be ashamed of crying. I'm here to protect you. Will you protect me in return?
I will. I promise. You know, Mercedes, you really are a special lady.
I just have to beat them on the map. Everyone lost all their whatchamajiggers. You know what I mean? Damn throat. Let's go find them and have more support conversations.
Hey!
Right.
First, let's do some actual stuff. Summon. Let's see how much money I made, because it's been a while since I unsummoned them. 13,000! I'll send them off with a brave bow. I gotta save my master seals now. Did buy these already? Yep. One I just bought. Who wants to have a word with me? Ferdinand. Flash. Skip through the yelling parts. What's up?
Oh, you know, there is always something. It never ends. Lately, I have been feeling uneasy, impatient. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. Now,
Well, to be fair, she did it before you expected him to do it, or her to do
I
it,
have
so...
to accept that I am her subordinate, working beneath her to reunify Fodlan. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing.
I'm pretty sure this one's different if
But
you
it
don't
is.
take this route.
That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Ire, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing.
Button thingy's not shiny this time.
Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever.
Journey, not the destination.
I appreciate that, but it is not enough to persuade me. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone.
And you say the
Even
same
so,
thing no matter which thing I
May
say.
I ask a favor?
Yes?
Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
With gusto. I am almost done with the support conversations.
Oh no. The last 5 years have been difficult at times. My relationship with Edelgard is rather contentious, due to the incident with my father. Nevertheless, I cannot abandon my family's duties. As Duke Ire, I must play my part in the Imperial Army. Edelgard intends to abolish the nobility, but I know I can dissuade her from doing so.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Who wants to talk to me over here?
Professor?
Yeah, let's go talk to Dorothea.
This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to
And
thank
the
you,
sappy music
Professor.
plays in the background.
That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with.
Yeah, it's been 5 years since you've seen me, so you found me out.
Well, of course. Did you think I wouldn't notice? It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Mittelfranc Opera Company. Performers, nobility.
I got
I
lucky.
met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice, and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started
You
to
could always
wonder,
play the witches, the old
when I did get
witches.
old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started.
Wouldn't let you be alone.
That's sweet of you. even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me.
We could be alone
unaware
together.
of the songstress, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist.
Beep. Sylvain, what do you have to say?
Hey, Professor. It's been a really long time, hasn't it? The last 5 years have been full of heartbreak. Not from girls, but friends and family becoming enemies. One of the things that kept me going was the hope you'd return. And now here you are. A lot has changed, but you're back. And it's the first time I can remember being happy in a while.
Yeah, you're happy. Gaspar, what do you have to say?
Alright, I'm ready to fight. Let's do this.
I'm counting on
Leave it to
you.
me. I can take on the whole, most of the enemy's army. I know my limits now, Professor.
Most of the enemy's army. God damn it, throat. This cold will just not go the frick away. Tiny blue thing. And Lysithia. I should almost be done with support conversations.
Thank you for helping me with my training again today, Professor. I'm gonna keep at it for a while longer, so you go on ahead.
Get some rest.
I can't. Not when I'm right on the cusp of using my power to greater potential. Surely you yourself are tired. Just don't worry about me, okay?
I'll worry about whoever I want. Should've listened.
I'm sorry, Professor. It was careless of me to continue, despite how fatigued I clearly was. I probably should have listened to you. Now I've made a mess of things. I can't help but feel the need to rush in all things constantly. You get that way when you realize you haven't got much time.
What do you mean?
18 years ago, House Ordelia was involved in a civil conflict within the Empire. All we did was respond to a call for aid. We weren't involved politically. But once the rebellion was crushed, my family was held responsible for the aid we gave, and the Empire gained some sway over us as a result. At the time, the noble houses of the Alliance took a passive stance. No one lent aid to my family. As a result, some key officials within the family were killed, and people from the Empire were sent to replace them.
I wonder who killed them.
Were some mysterious mages. They were unsettling, in a word. Skin pale as death. One after another, they captured and imprisoned the children of our household. They began performing terrible rituals on the children, though it's probably more accurate to call them experiments. With the Empire monitoring our every move, my parents could do nothing but watch in horror as all of this unfolded.
The horror.
One after another, the children died, till the only one left was me. You know, my hair wasn't always this color. During their experiments, they'd been doing things with my blood. One morning, I awoke like this. A shock of white hair, all trace of pigment.
What is that, Marie Antoinette syndrome?
Upon seeing me, the mages were delighted. They realized that their experiments had finally succeeded. Sure enough, they ran a test and saw that two crests coexisted within me. Losing pigment from my hair wasn't the only loss. The mages informed me that my lifespan was now greatly shortened. 5 more years at most. Perhaps less.
Well, it's been 5 years
Shortly
since that
thereafter,
happened, so
the mages lost interest in me, and we never saw them in the Ordelia household.
they were wrong.
Since all that, our family has been in decline. It's challenging now even to govern our territory. After all my mother and father have suffered, I at least want them to have peace as they grow older. That is all I wish for. But I haven't much time to ensure it comes to pass. It's not
It's
like
too
what's
soon.
been done to me can be undone.
You don't know that.
Professor. The only way I can conceive of would be to remove my crest somehow. But I don't know if that's even remotely possible. Even if it were,
Why
I
is
wouldn't
that
be
one
of much
piece on the
use to
clothing
you
there
and the others
shining?
without my crest. You sound resolved. I'll allow your resolve to bolster my own. Thank you, Professor.
Won't know until we try. Still have one left. What do you have to say, merchant?
Since the great nobles lost their standing, the regulation of the merchant houses has relaxed somewhat. You'd probably have thought that would make it easier for us to profit, but the world isn't so simple. The war has made the price of goods unstable, causing no end of hardship for the people.
Nordstlat seeds. Right.
Hello.
Soldier.
The north side of the Great Bridge of Murden is in the territory of Acheron of the Alliance. He's known as the Weather Vane. He's a notoriously flippant man.
And an asshole.
That doesn't have the guts to give it all for the defense of that bridge.
So he's priority target. That's a blue shiny thing.
I've been working here for a few years now. There are plenty of others working here too. Since the acolytes and students aren't here, it's up to us to pick up the slack.
What do you have to say, Mercedes?
I have good friends in both the Alliance and Fargus, so this fighting weighs heavily on me. I can't bear the thought of battling the Knights of Saros to the death. I have to keep my chin up though, right? Let's press on together, Professor.
Oh, yeah, and Annette. Annette's in there, too. And Lysithia.
I'm relieved you're here, Professor. It seems we've reached a stalemate on the war front. I admit I'm feeling apprehensive about fighting the Alliance. No. I have to shell. I'll fight with full
Whatever,
force.
you're at full support
I'm
anyway,
counting
so it
on you
doesn't
to lead
matter.
us to victory, Professor.
And Caspar.
Professor. Hey, Professor. Something's been bothering me. Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student? A knight scolded me for it, but at the time I really thought I was doing the right thing. Now that I've had more experience on the battlefield, though...
I've been looking for you. There isn't much time, so I'll keep this brief. The knights encountered a band of brigands while out marching. It was hard fought, but we prevailed. Our soldiers are highly trained, but the enemy was formidable, and we weren't expecting combat. There were a number of casualties among our troops.
Why report this to me?
There is something I wanted to bring to your attention. The brigands all bore identical tattoos of a scorpion on their arms. Please keep an eye out for that mark in the future.
Oh no.
It's all your fault, Caspar.
Don't mention it. If
All
you'll
your
excuse me,
fault.
I need to get back to my duties.
Heck of a coincidence, right? As soon as I mention that suspicious guy, this happens.
All your fault.
But some of the knights died in combat. They died because of what I did 5 years ago.
See? It's all your fault.
If I'd stayed quiet and tracked the guy down like you said, we would have stopped those brigands sooner. And I wouldn't have blood on my hands.
But he might have harmed the children.
Probably wouldn't have. Now those knights, they're not coming back. We both know it. This is all my fault.
It is. That's only the B with him, though. There is a exclamation point here.
If you don't mind,
Do something.
I have a favor to ask.
Ooh, you're giving me a mithril, so I'm doing that for sure. Dorothea!
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you.
Didn't we just have a conversation here 5 seconds ago?
Seem to be disappearing, but you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
No, I'm not gonna say. He's only been sitting here for 5 years. Spread the horse shit on him. Ah, damn it.
A moment, please.
By making an enemy of the church, disorder is running rampant among the populace. It's
Good.
quieted down over these last 5 years, though. The well-being of Her Majesty is steadily improving.
Frickin' gave me a rusted bow for protecting their crest stones. They're getting what they deserve.
Nothing to report.
You're still alive,
My
gatekeeper.
older twin works for the Knights of Saros, but I think he's just a grunt. Not a noble gatekeeper like yours truly.
That's why people have the same picture as you.
Unlike me, he's very devout. He left the Empire a long time ago.
He is probably dead. Anna!
There's unrest everywhere these days. I hope things go back to normal. Hey, how about a favor?
Tiny blue thing.
Hey,
Tiny blue thing.
What do you require?
Everyone full up.
Professor?
That another quest? That is another quest. What is this quest you have for me, random archer lady?
I need a favor.
Dealing with the deserters.
No.
No, then.
Hey there. Ah,
It's these
new
two.
face. I am Randolph von Bergleys. I'm the guardian.
We met
of this
5 years
place.
ago.
Wait a moment. I'm sure I've seen you somewhere before. Ah, yes. You're Her Majesty's professor. You're alive? Oh, this is my little sister, Fleisch. She's just a rookie, but she's helping me as my assistant.
Hello, I'm Fleisch von Bergleys. It's nice to meet you. I know I'm inexperienced.
You go a little psycho in the Blue Lions route.
You can count on me to look after my big brother.
I've heard you're planning to march into Alliance territory. I'll be here to guard the fort.
Guard it you will. Another person has something to say. Random soldier.
Clashes with the Kingdom Army near the Western Front. But this is the first time the Alliance Army has had an honest-to-goodness fight.
And they are going to
The leader's
suffer.
incompetent, but the Alliance Army is pretty tough too.
Tiny blue thing. Shamir.
Look on your face. Surprised to see me?
Not really.
I'm a mercenary. Always have been. Even when I was with the Knights of Saros. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon. But I might change my mind if you're around.
Was good. Bernadetta.
Are we leaving for battle? I heard it's a long march. But it's fine. I've had plenty of time to stay inside lately, so I think it's time I run out. Yeah, I can do this. No more Bernie Bear.
That's the spirit.
Please don't put me up front, okay?
Yeah, because you're the archer. Don't want to do that.
Hey!
Yep.
Hey, yep. Oh no. Soldier.
In the territories of the Alliance, the Gloucester and Daphne houses dominate the West. House Gloucester has always supported the Empire. There's not much chance of them defying us. So all that needs to be done to restore peace in the West now is to crush House Daphne.
Hey!
Hey. Hmm. Who's in the training grounds? Ugh, yourself. It's
Edelgard
Petra.
is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the kingdom in alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be
She doesn't have
joining
the same
our
mark
side.
on her back.
With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
Have any of her lost items?
I had lost the...
I did. I was holding on to it for 5 years.